What's up, the squad? Back with another video. As y'all can see in the title, what's going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Sorry for the vibration. Somebody's at my door right now. But definitely had to check this out. Definitely, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy what's going down in Chicago. I do apologize though, and I'm gonna say that in my next video because I know a lot of people don't watch the same videos. It has been a tough few weeks, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely has been a tough few weeks. I just learned that, a couple of nights ago that, a buddy of mine had passed away due to a motorcycle accident. And when I tell y'all, if y'all own a motorcycle, any type of fast car, anything, in that sort, to just, even if you're a good driver, watch out for others, and slow it down a little bit, and I'm not saying don't have fun or anything like that, but just, be safe. Definitely be safe. It's just sad, thinking about it. It took me a couple days, to get myself together. I know I dropped the video yesterday, but it was, pre-recorded and stuff like that, and I don't like doing it sometimes, but, it takes time, and I don't want to get all sad or nothing like that, but I'm telling y'all, you never know, you never know, especially, when on these motorcycles, y'all, like, I don't know, man. Like I told myself, I wouldn't get one just based off of, I got two girls, got two baby girls, and he actually has, a baby girl as well. We also always used to talk, about our daughters and stuff. And just knowing that he gone, I'm telling y'all, it hit me hard. I'm not even gonna lie, it definitely hit me hard. But definitely don't want to get sad on y'all. Y'all know it's been a tough few months, y'all. It's definitely been a tough few months. And when I tell y'all that y'all help me out a lot, y'all definitely help me out a lot when it comes to a lot. Y'all definitely help me out a lot, pushing me and talking to me and commenting and doing everything that y'all can, to keep my head above water. So I appreciate y'all. But y'all got here, Mayor Johnson is protecting Chicago from what exactly? I don't know. A lot, if people don't know. Check out what Mayor Brandon Johnson has to say here, y'all.
I'm signing an executive order today that will launch the Protecting Chicago Initiative. This is a project that builds on the months of preparation that we have done that has led up to this very moment.
Protecting Chicago Initiative. Protecting Chicago from what? A lower number of carjackings? A lower number of aggravated assaults? Are they protecting the city of Chicago from the federal government removing illegal immigrants who are costing that city hundreds of millions of dollars per year? What are they protecting Chicago from? Oh yeah, Trump. Because
Crazy.
Orange man bad. Whatever Trump does, we have to oppose it because it's Donald Trump. Chicago this year has a projected budget shortfall of over $900 million. It's actually $982 million. Last year, they had over a $220 million deficit. And since August of 2022, this city has spent over $570 million on migrant services. So they're already operating at a budget deficit, and they want to spend more money to take care of people who shouldn't even be here. They're here illegally, and they want to spend resources to take care of those people and allow them to stay here illegally. And remember this, the census counts people. It does not count citizens. So if they're housing people and wanting people to stay in Chicago and allowing people to stay there illegally, they are quite literally attempting to buy more federal representation. Or you could say they're indirectly buying more federal representation. Either way, it helps them get more political power. And they know that. Also, back to what I was saying earlier, Chicago is the #1 city for total. Every year for more than the past decade, Chicago has been the #1 city for overall. Brandon Johnson was really worried about keeping Chicago safe or protecting Chicago. He would be welcoming all the federal assistance he could get to make sure that people aren't getting in his city, especially considering it's the #1 city in the nation. I'm talking about raw number of. Chicago has faced a budget deficit every year for the past 20 years. On top of that, this mayor has a problem with personal accountability. He sued Kia for Kia's vehicles being too easy to carjack. I'm going to repeat that again. This man sued the car company Kia because their vehicles were too easy to carjack.
Mind you, all this that's going down, you see, like, One thing about it that I absolutely hate is that he's looking at Kia for making it too easy, but then you got people there. You the mayor, and you got people doing these carjackings, doing this and doing that. It's like you working way backwards, bro. Like you working way backwards to the simple fact, like, and I'm gonna get more into it, but. And I'm gonna get more to. I'm pretty sure it's at the end of the video. I got a question for y'all. I'm gonna start ending the video with a question for y'all. But it just goes to show you that all of this is more so of hate. You know, let's not like Donald Trump. Let's not like Donald Trump because of, he said this or he does that. Not actually looking at, the big picture, the big problem about. I'm telling y'all, I don't know honestly who in their right mind after seeing who this mayor is. Who in their right mind would want to vote for something like this?
I've yet to see this man talking about accountability. I've yet to see him saying, parents, be a parent and make sure your children are not out here carjacking people. I've never seen him say, hey, make better decisions about who you have children with. I don't see the accountability talk. Mm-hmm. And that is the crucial piece that is consistently missing that almost no one talks about. These people are ineffective and they love opposing Trump for the sake of just opposing Trump. Also, just a reminder, I have a free email newsletter where I go into more detail on many of these topics. This is one of the only places I cannot be.
So y'all see it right there is Jeffrey Mead. This is actually pretty smart, to do. Definitely pretty smart to do. So make sure y'all go check that out. Definitely an amazing guy. And speaking facts, definitely speaking facts, says Mayor Brandon Johnson leads a no troops in Chicago chant at an anti-Trump protest as President Trump wants to send the National Guard to address crime, which I think is amazing. I definitely think it's amazing. Said there have been over 50 people, literally 50 people shot so far this Labor Day weekend in Chicago. 50 for the weekend. That should tell you a lot. That should definitely tell you a lot. Check it out. That's a shame, bro. Defend immigrants. So let me tell y'all something. So you literally got people out here complaining that they're not getting benefits, that they're not getting food stamps, bus fare. They're not getting it's different things that is hot for them when it comes to these high prices. But then you have immigrants. The government is funding, or should I say, when it comes to these Democrats funding them, you literally have they've gotten food stamps. They was getting put in hotels, and I would say for free, but it's not, taxpayers' money. When it comes to bus fare, plane fare, when it comes to all this stuff, but then you literally got people defend. Like I don't get that. Me personally, I don't get that. I don't understand that. And not putting the American people first. I'm telling y'all, it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Mr. President, on the National Guard, you've talked a lot about Democratic-run cities and states. Yeah. Would you also consider sending the National Guard into red states and red cities that are also seeing high crime?
Sure, but there aren't that many of them. If you look at the top 25 cities for crime, just about every one of those cities is run by Democrats.
Mr. President,
speaking facts, you literally got St. Louis Democrat, Memphis, Baltimore, Detroit, Cleveland. You have Philadelphia, Jacksonville. Every last one of these places, the ones that I just named, top 10, all ran by Democrats. So people have to. Man, I'm telling y'all, bro. Me personally, I don't know why you wouldn't want. I feel like people need to be jumping and literally screaming for joy. Literally. that President Trump is doing this, and it's a reason why. I'm sure a lot of y'all know the reason why. You know what's going on in D.C. You know, or what's not going what's going on in D.C. as I should say. Says here, Mayor Brandon Johnson says that him resisting President Trump deploying National Guard to Chicago is like when slaves fought for freedom against the Confederacy. Man, check this out.
All of this pushback against Trump, knowing how he responds to that, could actually provoke him to follow through with this talk about sending in the National Guard when yesterday he seemed to waffle. Could this make things worse, all this pushback?
Could you imagine if, as a descendant of slaves, if my ancestors would have had that same rationale? Let's not fight against the Confederacy. Let's just try to get along, and then maybe one day they'll give us our freedom. Nowhere in the history of America or the world where marginalized people have sat silent and idle, and they've been able to actually achieve justice and liberation. The fact that you have a unified front in Chicago where we are rejecting the occupation by the military of our cities, that's actually fighting for our democracy. That's what's required in this moment. Leading in this moment takes a great deal of courage, but we stand on the shoulders of so many people that have come before us. We have seen these type of tyrannical acts before. One thing that we know for sure, when we fight back against tyranny, the people united always prevail.
When it comes to ancestors for this dude, I know that they're just looking at him like I just know they just disappointed in the person. How do you sit here and they continue to say that you shouldn't use the National Guard, you shouldn't use the National Guard towards the people and doing this to people and Americans and this, that, and other. Bro, y'all acting like the National Guard is really just out here just doing whatever to people. Man, they're making sure the crime is low, doing what they need to do when it comes to people acting up, when they destroying these stores and restaurants and all these different type of areas, gas stations, all it. Crime in general, that's around this neighborhood, especially in Chicago. But then you have people like this man that's sitting here trying to make the National Guard out to be, oh yeah, they're bad. Trump is sending the National Guard and he's going to do they're going to do this and they're going, man, that just goes to show you that they want that. They want that crime. It's sad, bro. This is definitely sad. Says the resident of Chicago is begging Trump to send the National Guard. Begging Trump. Check it out.
We are not thinking about Pritzker or Brandon Johnson. We just had 4 mass shootings in the span of 1 month. 14 people got shot and 4 dead. We just had senior citizens laying shot, bleeding in the streets. And let's not forget the gentleman who we saw, who was on Facebook Live, get robbed and shot while he was sitting in his car. So we don't care about anything these people are saying. Tell Brandon Johnson and Pritzker, if Chicago is so safe, with Brandon Johnson especially, let's leave his 150 police detail. Fire them and walk around with no police detail. And Pritzker, no security. Come in my community, the south side of Chicago. Come over there and let's see you say how safe it is. You can't even sit in your car long. If you sit in your car, you know that it's a chance you're going to get carjacked, robbed, or shot. So tell him to come around in my neck of the woods and talk that.
Carjack? So you mean to tell me you can't sit in your car that long? You can't sit in and there's some parts in Indiana you can't either. I'm letting y'all know that right now. And I ain't saying Indianapolis is bad. It can be better. Downtown Indianapolis, it's pretty bad. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't about to say it ain't the worst. I've seen, the worst when it comes to these different cities, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. Me personally, though, I do have to say that naming all of those things and you can't sit in your car that long, why are they not, again, jumping for joy? Like, why? Because Trump is wanting to send the National Guard. Like, I just don't understand it. I truly don't understand that, y'all. I really don't. I'm telling y'all.
We should be working to make sure that...
And mind y'all, I'm going to say this, and I was just going to let this video play and then tell y'all afterwards, but I'm going to just let y'all know. This says Democrat Chicago City Council member Ray Lopez turns on Mayor Brandon Johnson for refusing to cooperate with President Trump and help get rid of the city crime. Check it out.
We are in coordination with each other. There's nothing stopping the mayor of the city of Chicago, the governor of the state of Illinois, from picking up the phone and reaching out to the president of the United States and saying, what can we do to be on the same page? We should all be looking to continuously decrease the amount of victims in our city and in our state. And instead, we're getting into this tit for tat social media back and forth nonsense, which is only putting the people of Chicago and the people of Illinois in the middle, in the crosshairs of the criminals who are going to use this time to exploit and go crazy, as we're continuing to see this weekend, where we've had multiple mass shootings, multiple victims.
Labor Day weekend violence in Chicago. 31 shootings. 7. Bro, this is insane, bro. All these shootings. 52 people. 3 people arrested. I'm going to let that sink in. They don't want the National Guard there, though. 52. 3 people. We talking about interest arrest. We're not talking about, oh, yeah, they definitely. Come on. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. I really don't understand why they, like, this is literally sad. It's sad, y'all.
And no one wants to talk about them. I hear the governor talking about an invasion, an insurrection. I hear the mayor writing useless orders against the federal government. But what no one is talking about is, if our crime stats are decreasing, why can't we push with Donald Trump's help and decrease them even more? How many victims are we comfortable with? Because that's ultimately the subtext of what the mayor and the governor are saying, is that we are comfortable with the amount of victims we have right now. We don't need to improve on our numbers any further than that.
And as y'all can see, people are starting to realize. But that just goes to show y'all, like, leave that alone. Democrat Chicago City Council member Ray Lopez, wake up. Smell the coffee. You know what I mean? Like, let's get real. The question I did have for y'all, though, I know it's been a long video. Don't worry, I got another video dropping today. Possibly. I wanted to ask y'all. A lot of y'all know, if Black Lives Matter so much, why aren't they celebrating that not a single person has been unalived? I have to say unalived since Trump sent the National Guard to D.C. Let me read it again. If Black Lives Matter, why aren't they celebrating that not a single person has been unalive since Trump sent National Guard to D.C.? And I got that same, and I'm going to continue to ask when, Trump is sending the, National Guard to, and I feel like it's necessary. I feel like it's very necessary. Definitely for that top 10 I named. Definitely. Black Lives Matter don't care, bro. They ran off. People, Black Lives Matter don't care. And the people that support, and they yelling, oh, yeah, BLM and Black Lives. Man, y'all don't care, but that's just something they don't never talk about when it's black on black crime. They don't never talk about it. It's always let it be somebody other than black that it did something to a black person. Oh yeah, they gonna clown. It's gonna be everywhere. They gonna do the most. I'm telling y'all, it is so messed up. It is so messed up, y'all. Unnecessary. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.